Welcome to the Embroidery Machine Basics video presented by the Mount Royal University Library Maker Studio. In this video, you will learn some basic skills with a digital embroidery machine. For more project ideas, resources, and information, you can go to the Maker Studio website, which is found on the Mount Royal University Library website under Spaces. In this video, you will learn what materials you can use in the embroidery machine. You will learn how to place fabric and stabilizer in the embroidery hoop. You will learn how to set up the embroidery machine, how to load the bobbin, how to load the hoop into the machine, how to load the upper thread, how to set up your design, how to embroider your design, how to unload the hoop, and finally how to change the needle in case it breaks. You can use many different kinds of fabric in the embroidery machine, but if your fabric is stretchy, it is recommended that you use stabilizer with it. Stabilizer, which is the white square in this image, helps to stabilize your fabric so it doesn't pull while the machine is embroidering in it. You will also need to bring machine embroidery thread. So let's get started putting the fabric and the stabilizer into the hoop. So you can see here we have matching triangles. We're going to take the inside hoop out. Then what we're going to do is put in the stabilizer. If your stabilizer is larger than your hoop, you're going to need to cut it so that it fits. But this one fits pretty good. Then you put your fabric over top, not moving the stabilizer. Then you place in the inside of the hoop, and then you need to tighten it so that it fits. And now you're ready to embroider. On the side of the machine, you can find the main power switch and the USB ports. Here we have the foot pedal port for when you want to use the machine as a sewing machine. You can turn the machine on and the home screen will pop up on the touch screen. Just touch that and the machine will get started reconfiguring the carriage, which is the part that holds the hoop. You can't have the hoop in it during this process or it won't work. And now it's ready to go. Once you have the machine on, select Embroidery, and to load your file, put your USB into the USB port and select the USB icon. Now you'll see a list of your designs, click yours, and there it is. You can now select Embroidery. For access to guides in the machine, just press the question mark and you can see the different guides available. We're going to look at a guide for how to load the bobbin. So you can see there are a full set of guides and you can actually watch videos for each step in the guide. When you're done a video, hit close, go further in through the guide, and then hit the little camera icon to watch the video. When you're done, select close and close again. Let's start winding the bobbin for our project. Open the lid. Be sure you're using the correct size bobbin. The Maker Studio will supply you with the right size. The thread you'll be using is a machine embroidery thread. Bring it up top and you put it on the holder for winding the bobbin and make sure it's held in place with the cap. There are different size caps for different types of spools. One size you could use is this larger cap. There are instructions on the top of the machine to how to wind the bobbin, and you can follow them. They're numbered. You can see them on the top of the machine. your bobbin will have a small divot which will lock onto the side of the bobbin winder. So slide that on. Now we're going to wind the thread around the bobbin, and this machine has a little blade that you can cut it. Lock the bobbin in place and select Start. The machine will automatically stop when the bobbin is full. After the machine stops, cut the thread, remove the bobbin, and place it in the bobbin holder. You can see there are instructions here. You need the bobbin to turn counterclockwise. So follow the directions and the path to put the thread in, and there's a little blade and it will cut it. You put the lid back on, and now you're set to go. To load the hoop in, you just look on the side here and you'll see an arrow which tells you the right direction. Slide it into the placeholder and then push down the lever and it's locked in. Let's load the upper thread. You lift up the lid and you make sure you're using machine embroidery thread. So the machine will actually tell you which color to use next. You can see it here. We're using a cream color. Load it onto the thread holder and then put on the cap. Now we follow the instructions that are on the top of the machine. Go from point 1 to 2 to 3 and then up to 4, which is over top of the metal arm that moves up and down. Down to 5, and then 6 is very important. It's a little metal bar that you need to make sure that the thread is wrapped around. Then in the little divot for 7, and then 8 is just cutting off the thread with the blade provided. This machine has an automatic threader, so you just push the threading button and it threads the needle for you. Now that we have our file and our hoop ready, it's time to set up our design. So we're going to press this little square with the arrow on it so that we can make sure that everything starts in the right place. The default starting place is in the center, you can see here, but we could turn it so that it starts higher or to the right or to the left. You can also see over here on the left there are these little icons of the hoops. There are 4 hoop sizes that you can use, and if it's grayed out, it means that you can't use it. Your design won't fit in that size hoop. So you can see here the smallest one has been grayed out. Now if we'd like to see where our design is going to be, we can select this icon, and what it'll do is it'll do a kind of bounding box around where the design is going to be in the hoop, and that gives us an idea of the size of our design and where it'll start embroidering. So when we're done that, we hit close, and we can also use these arrows to move the starting point. And then check again with the bounding box tool. Time to start embroidering. Okay, so let's lower the foot by pushing the presser foot button, and this light turns green, we push it, and the machine starts embroidering. It's going to do the first step of your design, the first color thread, and you can see here that it's doing the first one, the white thread, and you can see the little crosshair on the preview. It's showing you exactly where it's embroidering. Here you can see the number of stitches, the number of minutes it's going to take, and the number of thread, so 3 out of 4. So it's time to change the thread. You don't want to pull the thread up. It can get tangled up in the machine. So what you do is you grab the thread here and you cut it, and then you pull it out through the machine. All right, you can see now we only have 3 steps left. But let's say something happened and we needed to go back. So what we can do is we can actually select this button here, and it gives us options. We can go back 1 stitch, we can go back 10 stitches, 100 stitches, 500 stitches. We can also go back a whole step. So if I push this, you can see my first step has reappeared, and it'll actually do it over. And if you look here, I can minus 100 stitches, add 100 stitches. If we need to stop the machine while it's in progress, you press the green button, and then we need to raise up the needle. So we press the needle position button, and then we use the scissor icon button to actually cut the thread. There's a blade underneath that will cut it. Let's unload the hoop from the embroidery machine. You lift up the lever and slide it out, and then you can loosen the outer hoop and slide out the inner hoop. Now you can see your embroidery is finished. To get off the stabilizer, if you have purchased stabilizer that rips easily, you can just tear it right off. There are many different kinds of stabilizer that you can buy. Some wash out. Now that your embroidery is finished, you can cut off the jump threads. Do that by using a pair of scissors and cutting very close to your design and cutting off the threads that go from one point to another. And there you go, all finished. Alright, so if your needle breaks or is bent, you need to change it. So in this little white pouch that came with the machine is a tiny white screwdriver. So you just need to loosen this little black knob, and then the needle slides right out. Now it's hard to see in this video, but needles have a flat side on the back of them. That's the side that needs to be against the back of where the needle goes in. So you just slide the new needle in. This little metal circle which will stop it, it won't go in anymore. Then you just have to tighten again with the screwdriver. Get it really tight. I hope you've enjoyed this video. For more resources, you can go to the Maker Studio website found on the MRU Library website under Spaces. If you have further questions, you can contact the Maker Studio at makerstudio@mtroyal.ca, or you can email the Maker Studio staff.